All due respect, and like I said, I don't have anything personal against this court. I'm not a corporation, right? I'm a natural person. Where is the body of the crime, Judge? You went to law school, you're a practitioner.
I don't know because I haven't heard testimony.
The most disrespectful sovereign citizen I've seen in a while just barged into the courtroom, and calm was definitely not on his agenda. From the moment he entered, it was clear this guy had no intention of listening or cooperating. He wouldn't stop talking, constantly interrupting, and the crazy part, he's in court because he genuinely thought he could drive without a license, like traffic laws just don't apply to him. What really caught me off guard, though, was the judge's response. The way she maintained her composure and control over the courtroom was impressive, definitely not what I was expecting. I won't spoil too much, but let's just say she handled it like a pro. While you're watching, I'd love to hear what you think in the comments, especially about this guy's logic or lack thereof. Honestly, he might be in the running for one of the most clueless defendants I've seen in a courtroom.
Clause of the U.S. Constitution and hold that these state statutes in which they have me charged with are constitutional based on the U.S. Supreme Court. And what is the case? The Cheney versus Winnebago Department of Social Services, there was a young child who the mother alleges that the father was beating the child and the child died. The mother sued all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. And the U.S. Supreme Court held that no matter how bad or gruesome that this case was, when it concerned the case, that the states have no duty to protect citizens from other citizens. Anything that compels performance, there has to be a contract. And again, I reserve my rights under UCC 1-308 and the common law UCC 1-103.6. And it's clear, Your Honor. And I ask that this court, do their sworn fulfill their sworn oath under the Michigan rules, the Michigan Judicial Code of Conduct. The court is not to be swayed by public opinion or what the people may think or whatever it may be. Like the great honorable Judge Dalton A. Rose. So every government is entitled to a Republican form of government, not a corporate. I'm not a corporation, right? I'm a natural person. The case law clearly breaks everything down, which everyone is in default. I just ask that this court dismiss this case at this juncture. If the court does not, I demand under the Supremacy Clause, the subpoena power of this court, to have Ken Worthy brought in so we can have an evidentiary hearing. Because how can a criminal prosecute or allege that I'm a criminal when they're committing all the crimes, Judge? Since I've been home, I've been making reports of police and other things, violations of law against me at the precinct. And no one listens to me. They just ignore me. But when people call and say, well, hey, Mr. McCurry did this, Mr. McCurry did that, they come, then it's found out nothing happened.
Under our state constitution, this court has jurisdiction. Furthermore, as far as discovery goes, I personally sent Mr. McCrary twice, and I have the emails, copies of the emails to show it if that's necessary.
Dated, what are the dates?
The dates are not on here. May 24th, which was last week, and May 5th.
Look at this sovereign citizen shaking his head like he didn't just delete the prosecutor's emails from a few days ago. I mean, come on. It's almost impressive how deeply committed he is to this act. You really have to admire the dedication, even if it's completely misplaced. It's so painfully obvious this guy is lying, but he keeps doubling down like he's trying to win an Oscar for most delusional defendant. And honestly, I can't help but laugh, because the more he talks, the more ridiculous he sounds, yet he absolutely refuses to back down. That's the thing about sovereign citizens. Once they latch onto their belief, they'll defend it to the bitter end, even when the judge, the prosecutor, and literally everyone in the courtroom prove them wrong. It's like they think that if they deny reality hard enough, the law will just vanish.
I don't know. I'll give you, it's gonna take a couple seconds. One of those emails, the E is missing in there.
That's not my fault. They violate your order.
Mr. Kirk, can I
Yes,
go?
ma'am.
Okay. So you should have received one of them,
Nothing.
Right.
and neither one of them came back as a bad email.
Okay. All right, so Mr. McCurry, I don't know why you're not receiving discovery, you did not receive it?
He didn't send, can we subpoena Google and,
No,
litigate this and
This
show that
is
he
not,
hasn't
this
sent
is not a
anything?
trial, this is not evidentiary hearing.
Well, can I say one more thing?
After you get done today, confirm your email address, you can send a test email to make sure that he received it.
Well, he did. It showed me that he got my paperwork. He admitted in the last receipt that he received my
Okay,
paperwork.
and
So why would he send it? Well, why wouldn't I get it back? My email is legit. It's my phone right here.
okay,
Also a jurisdictional challenge.
let's, before we get to that, Adrian or Stetson, if you want to respond before we forget.
Yes, Your Honor, I do want to make a record. This defendant has already availed himself to the jurisdiction of the courts of the state by admitting to having a driver's license. And also further add that the 10th Amendment has allotted and given police powers to the states, which then allows the state to create criminal laws under which this defendant must avail himself to. I further add that, again, as the court has acknowledged, that this defendant has at least once received the discovery to his emails, to his correct email. So any more allegations of not receiving discovery would be improper, given that we have it at least proven that he has it at least once. And there have been no additions or corrections since the discovery was done the first time.
Okay,
May I
Mr.
respond?
McCurry, I'm gonna wrap this up, you can respond and.
Yeah, just briefly if I may. Well, this young lady here to basically
Mr. Sessions,
respond, Mr. Sessions, to respond to her statements in Michigan. They're locking people up for not having a driver's license. I was compelled.
there are people getting
But I
locked up
reserve my
for
rights. This was
murdering
the law.
people as well.
Pardon?
People getting locked up for murder as well.
Well, I understand that, but what I'm saying is the corpus delicti, they're going off written statements. You know the corpus delicti rule under the Michigan Supreme Court case, as well as the federal court case. Where's the body of a crime? They're saying ammunition, all this, that. Where's the guns at? Where's the victim at? Strangulation, where's all this? Where's the medical
I wouldn't
reports?
know because we haven't
And
had
then,
an exam.
okay, but no, jurisdiction, once it's challenged, it must be proven by the people. This is state and federal law, from the Michigan court.
Screams at the judge without making any sense. This guy is at least trying to cite case law. Sure, it's completely irrelevant to the situation, but still, he's putting in the effort. What really got me, though, was when he claimed there was no victim and no weapon. Like, bro, we're not even at the preliminary hearing stage yet. The prosecutor has the evidence. We all know it. We all just watched it. Let's not pretend otherwise. At this point, I'm just ready for the judge to shut it down. If he interrupts one more time, I might actually lose it. I swear it's like, he just enjoys hearing himself talk more than he cares about the case.
So I'm demanding that jurisdiction, I mean, they're already in default, but still again, I'm demanding jurisdiction be challenged, personal subject matter and territorial jurisdiction. Even when I was in prison, I had interactions with Kim Worthy, chief prosecuting officer for the state, and I reserved my rights in prior proceedings, as well as I was compelled to obtain a driver's license. And I reserve my rights. That's all the law mandates, that I reserve my rights, which I have done. And right now, this lady, Mrs. Prosecutor, I can't remember her name, and Mrs. Sisson, Esquire Sisson, and this gentleman here, they're in conspiracy and violating federal and state law. There's been crimes, and I demand that their oath of office, their law, their license to practice law, amongst other things, be given to me, as well as their bond, as well as you, Judge, Your Honor. Also, like I say, jurisdiction has been challenged, and they have to prove it first based on the case law, which I have noted in this paperwork. They can't get around that. We can say, well, yeah, they're talking about reserving rights and all that. Okay, but still the law from the state Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, and federal jurisdictions clearly mandates that once jurisdiction is challenged, the person asserting jurisdiction has to prove it. And all they have is statements. Under the corpus delicti rule, out of court statements is not evidence, so these charges should be dismissed. Where is the body of the crime, Judge? You went to law school, you're a practitioner.
I don't know because I haven't heard testimony to know.
Well, that's not how it works with jurisdiction.
That's how, you know, it works that way. So, do you have any last
Well, I would
Your
like,
Statements, because I made the
okay, I would like to challenge jurisdiction again, which I have done from the onset of this case, personal, subject matter and territorial jurisdiction. State and federal case law is clear, in which this court being inferior to the higher courts must adhere to their oath of office, their bond, and so on and so forth, their license to practice law and the Michigan rules of code of judicial conduct, and must compel the people to prove jurisdiction, which they're asserting. Where's the proof? You have to show this court. That's at any stage of the proceeding, the law allows that.
Okay. So on discovery, I saw paperwork confirming the email address that you provided to the court is now the record, that discovery was sent. I'm not sure if it's an email, please tell me the record. If there's another email you would like to be sent to, I will ask the prosecutor to do so. 2, for requesting license numbers from everyone. My name is right here in front of you. You can go right on State Bar.
I ain't saying that.
RP numbers are available for you to look up as they are for any general public.
This right here is exactly why the court system feels so broken sometimes. Sure, the legal process is naturally slow. It's how the system was built. But people like this make it so much worse by wasting time with complete nonsense. Just think about it. Real victims are out there waiting for justice. And meanwhile, the judge has to spend hours listening to a sovereign citizen argue over imaginary laws. It's absurd. The law couldn't be more straightforward. If you want to drive, you need a license. That's it. But no, this guy thinks he uncovered some hidden legal loophole that exempts him from reality. And what gets me every time is the confidence. The sheer confidence these people have while being completely wrong is just unbelievable. They argue, ignore actual laws, and then somehow walk away thinking they won, when all they really did was dig themselves into a deeper hole. And let's be real, it never works, not once. But they keep trying anyway, surrounded by a bunch of other sovereign citizens hyping them up like, "You crushed it in court today," when in reality, they just made things worse. Honestly, it almost feels like some of them are purposely trying to stack up jail time. But here's what I want to know from you. Do you think these people actually believe what they're saying? Or are they just trying to manipulate the system? I feel like it's split. Some are true believers and others are just looking for a way to dodge responsibility.